Welcome to Goddesses. I'm your host, Blair Minerva. Today on Goddesses, imagine a world where your burning desire to expose injustice leads you to feign madness and enter an asylum, risking your own sanity. Today, witness Nellie Bly's harrowing journey into the abyss, where her courage ignites a fire that transforms mental health care, and discover the power you, too, possess to confront the darkness around you. Have you ever stood at the precipice of change, knowing that one step forward could alter everything? In 1887, a young woman named Nellie Bly stood at the edge of New York's East River, rain pelting her face as she gazed across the murky waters toward Blackwell's Island. The infamous women's lunatic asylum loomed in the distance, its dark silhouette a testament to society's hidden horrors. You might think you understand what it means to face opposition, but imagine entering a newsroom where your very presence is considered an affront, where editors pat you on the head and assign you to write about garden parties, while men cover the stories that matter. This was Nellie's reality at the Pittsburgh Dispatch, where her burning desire to uncover injustice was met with patronizing smiles and closed doors. Yet within her burned a fire that no amount of condescension could extinguish. When she read about mysterious deaths at Blackwell's Island Asylum, something inside her shifted. This wasn't just another story. This was her calling. The coal dust of rural Pennsylvania had taught young Elizabeth Cochrane, soon to be known as Nellie Bly, that life's hardest truths often lay beneath pristine surfaces. Growing up watching her widowed mother struggle against poverty and discrimination, she learned to see through society's carefully constructed facades. Each morning, she would watch workers trudge to the mills, their faces streaked with grime and determination. Their unspoken stories became her first lessons in journalism. But Nellie knew that sometimes the most important questions were the ones society preferred to ignore. The plan was audacious. Convince doctors she was insane, get committed to Blackwell's Island, and document the institution's darkest secrets from within. One misstep would mean genuine imprisonment among the truly disturbed. No rescue, no escape. The stakes weren't just professional, they were potentially fatal. Standing before her mirror in a dingy boarding house, Nellie practiced her performance. She disheveled her hair, rehearsed vacant stares, and perfected the art of seeming lost within herself. But beneath this carefully constructed mask of madness, her mind remained razor-sharp, cataloging every detail of what was to come. The admission process was disturbingly easy. A few strange statements, some erratic behavior, and suddenly the doors of Blackwell's Island were swinging open to receive their newest patient. The smell hit her first, a nauseating mixture of unwashed bodies, harsh disinfectant, and despair. The iron gates clanged, shut behind her, with devastating finality. What Nellie discovered inside those walls would haunt her forever. Women huddled on bare benches, shivering in thin gowns. Ice-cold baths administered as punishment. Rancid food that made prisoners retch. But most shocking were the stories she heard in whispered conversations. Tales of perfectly sane women committed by husbands who wanted them out of the way. Of immigrants whose only crime was speaking broken English. Of poverty mistaken for madness. Each night, as Nellie lay on her thin mattress, the cries of her fellow inmates echoed through the halls. She formed bonds with women like Ann Neville, committed for speaking out against her abusive husband, and Maria Burkowski, a German immigrant whose confusion over English had been labeled as insanity. Their stories became more than just notes for an article. They became a responsibility. If you're enjoying Goddesses, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. Lead without apology using quiet power tactics from influential females like Oprah, Malala, and RBG. Now, back to the episode. 10 days. That's how long Nellie endured the asylum's brutality. 10 days of watching women force-fed spoiled food, of seeing nurses mock patients' distress, of witnessing systematic cruelty masked as treatment. But the hardest part wasn't the physical discomfort or the psychological strain. It was knowing that when she left, others would remain behind. When the New York World finally secured her release, Nellie carried more than just her experiences. She carried the weight of every woman's story, every injustice witnessed, every cry unheard. The question wasn't whether she would write about it, but how to make people believe the unbelievable. But Nellie had not risked everything to be silenced now. Her articles in the New York World exploded like bombshells across the city. Every detail, every horror, every human dignity violated, she laid it all bare. The public response was immediate and overwhelming. People couldn't look away from the truth anymore. Within weeks, a grand jury investigation was launched. Reforms followed, additional funding, new regulations, better treatment. The walls of silence had finally cracked. Years later, Nellie would stand again by the East River, this time with her young son. The asylum still loomed on Blackwell's Island, but it was different now. Her exposé had forced change, had given voice to the voiceless. This isn't just a story about a brave journalist from the past. It's about you, right now, reading these words. What injustices do you see in your world that others ignore? What truths lie beneath the surface of your daily life, waiting for someone brave enough to expose them? Nellie Bly's legacy isn't just in the reforms she sparked or the journalism she revolutionized. It's in the challenge she leaves for each of us, to see what others won't, to speak what others can't, and to act when others don't. The question isn't whether there are modern-day Blackwell's Islands in your world. The question is, what are you going to do about them? Look around you, really look. What darkness needs light? What silence needs voice? What wrong needs righting? Your story, your moment to stand at the edge of that river and choose to dive in, begins now. The world doesn't change because of those who accept things as they are. It changes because of those who, like Nellie Bly, dare to question why they have to be that way at all. What's your Blackwell's Island? And more importantly, when will you begin your journey to expose it? On the next episode of Goddesses, imagine if Nellie Bly's courage in exposing injustice sparked something within you. But what if that spark was met with societal flames ready to extinguish it? Next week, we meet an intellectual titan who faced those very flames and turned them into fuel for her unyielding ideas. Simone de Beauvoir challenged the norms of her time, much like Nellie did hers. But what if her greatest challenge wasn't society, but herself? Join us as we delve into The Second Sex, author's lifelong battle against external and internal expectations in our new week dedicated to philosophers, intellectuals, and thought leaders. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. 7 days, 7 iconic women. Master the art of quiet power, lead without apology, and turn femininity into your greatest weapon. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/GOD. Thanks for watching.